like I had in Portugal, I think it was a bit easier because I had a bit of a social circle because obviously I was making trips for 2 years prior to that anyway. So I knew coaches. I had a couple of friends here or there, and then one of my close friends who initially was with me in South Africa and a part of that schooling system, his family moved out to Portugal around the same time when my family came here to Dubai. So at least him and the family were there, but he lived pretty far away from me, and obviously I wasn't driving or whatever. So he was about, I want to say 35 minutes away from me. And obviously he was busy with school and stuff like that. So schedule-wise, I didn't really get to see him that often. But it was nice knowing that I had him there. But I think Portugal was tough. It's probably the most difficult experience I've had thus far in my life. But at the time, I didn't really think about it. It's only when I look back and look at like how I was feeling and just how I was thinking and just also how my body was reacting. I wasn't really myself. So yeah, I think language-wise wasn't that difficult because obviously it's such a cosmopolitan city anyway. So pretty much everyone spoke English. So even at training, yes, they spoke to each other in Portuguese. The coach gave instructions in Portuguese, but like they would speak to me in English. And majority of the time, I was hearing English more than I was Portuguese. So I think language-wise, I probably made a bigger jump when I moved to Spain because yes, I was doing Portuguese lessons in Portugal, but if you aren't using it in a practical form on a daily basis, it's not going to sink in the way you and I speak English, right? So I think my Portuguese and my Spanish obviously went miles ahead once I made the move to Spain and eventually settled in a place called Villafranca because I had 5 roommates from Brazil. So in the apartment, they literally just spoke Portuguese. So if I didn't understand, then it was a disaster. So I had to make a plan, and that did help my Portuguese. And obviously because the languages are very, very similar, Spanish also kind of just fell into that, became super easy as well. And also no one in the town spoke English. So unlike Lisbon, where you're basically around people that you would be in South Africa or Dubai or whatever, you're literally just in a completely new environment, a completely new language. So I think that's when my survivor mode kind of kicked in. And my language skills were kind of put to the test. But yeah, probably took me about 5 months, I would say. And then I was speaking fluent Spanish, still do now, and then Portuguese as well. So yeah.
So those